Okay, so this video is going to be about inversion. Inversion is a unique structure that is used in academic writing when the writer wants to put strong emphasis on a point. So in English, normal sentence structure is subject plus verb. So typically in a statement, the subject comes before the verb. But when you invert the structure, you actually move the verb so that it comes before the subject. Inversion is helpful when you want to emphasize a result or a fault, or when you want to draw attention to a particular point. But you must be careful not to overuse it. Reserve inversion for cases in which strong emphasis is necessary. It is not a good thing to overuse it. So here are a couple examples. The first example here is the normal word order. And the sentence reads, "The author does not describe the methods he used." Here we have the inverted word order below that. It reads, "In no case does the author describe the methods." So, let's see if I get my pointer out here. We have the author, which is the subject of the sentence here, and then we have does, which is the verb. And the verb is actually made negative here by including not right after it. If you look at the inverted sentence, we have the verb, does, the same verb, and then the subject, which is the author. So this is, in no case does the author describe the methods. And so here this is some sort of description, as you could probably tell by looking at the later examples. This also is where an evaluation could be. But it's not totally necessary for that to be an evaluation. So when you use an inversion structure and you state two critiques, this will be a little information about how to use inversion in a couple of ways. You need to have some sort of auxiliary verb, like has or have or do, before the subject of the first clause. But in the second clause, the normal subject-verb order is used. So here's another example that says, "Not only is the definition distorted, but the explanation is also confusing." So here we have not only, so this is negative, right? So this is reserved for when you're using a negative word to begin a sentence, like not only, we have what we have here. But similar to the previous example, we have the verb here, is, and then we have the definition, which is the subject. Okay. So as mentioned earlier, inversion can also be used when you want to emphasize a point. In this situation, the auxiliary and the verb are also inverted. So here's another example of normal word order. Here we have, "The author's creative strategies were especially interesting." So we have the author's creative strategies as the subject, and then were especially interesting. Were is the verb here. And we have inverted word order. Especially interesting were the author's creative ideas. So to construct inversion, you need to use some sort of expression, which, as I mentioned earlier, must be the noun phrase. Could be some sort of evaluation. Some sort of evaluation. Then you need be, and then you need the noun phrase. So the noun phrase makes up the end. So here's another example. Particularly important, so that's the expression. And in this case, it is an evaluation, right? We're making the judgment that the rest of the sentence, the findings, we're making a judgment in saying that those were particularly important. So it reads, "Particularly important were the findings related to children who were raised in Spanish-speaking households." So here we have, were the findings related to children who were raised in Spanish-speaking households. This whole phrase is the noun phrase. So from the findings to households. So it's a long noun phrase, but it still meets the requirements of inversion according to the construction at the top of the slide. So as you're going through your articles for this class, you will see sometimes inversion. So keep an eye out for that for classes that are for readings for your class here, but also any other classes that require you to do a lot of reading. As I mentioned earlier, it's something that you want to avoid overusing, and most of the articles you read will also avoid overusing it. However, you will come across it from time to time. So it's very important for you to understand that it helps to place emphasis in the ways described previously. You should also use inversion in your writing, in the critical review or in any other assignments where it's appropriate to use inversion or to make some sort of judgment or evaluation on some sort of text. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.